Joining me today, I have James Anderson here at the Beaver Creek Precious Metals Summit from Guanajuato Silver. James, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So James, on our website, we cover pretty much everything related to the Canadian junior markets. The one thing that we get the most eyeballs on right now, I'd say, is silver.
Right.
What's your read on the silver market right now? What's your assessment?
Well, of course, I'm the CEO of a silver mining company, so how could I be anything but positive? But I think that whereas lots of the different commentators and myself anticipated that silver would outperform gold, really over the last 6 or 8 months, as gold has moved from $1,800 to $2,500, silver has underperformed gold. I think if you look at the chart pattern of silver, I think it's entirely possible that after this relatively short-term correction, you could see it break out from there into the $32, $34, $35 range. That would make a huge difference for our particular operations. So I'm eagerly anticipating that development.
So I imagine you've been talking with lots of people at this conference. You've been in the business for a long time. You've seen a lot of colleagues. I'm sure, talking about what the buzz is here. And one thing we'd love to do for our audience is ask every guest we have on, what's the buzz of the conference? What are people talking about? Are there any themes from your conversations?
So this is the best run junior mining conference, period, bar none. I've been coming here for 8 or 10 years in a row. I would say that the tone of this conference is more subdued than in the last few years. I'd say it's more focused. Frankly, I think more work gets done when it's like this. So I enjoy this tone of conference rather than when it's a little bit too ebullient.
Yeah, I agree. This is my favorite one for all the different mining conferences. So we've had you on a couple times before, but there's going to be people that are sitting and watching our series here at Beaver Creek. They don't know the Guanajuato Silver story. Can you just give them a high-level overview of the company?
Sure. Well, we continue to like to call ourselves Mexico's fastest-growing silver mining company. From really a standing start about 3 years ago, we have, through acquisition, 2 major acquisitions, we now have 4 mines, 3 processing facilities in Mexico. Generally speaking, we continue to ramp up production quarter over quarter. And in terms of revenue, last quarter was a new record revenue quarter for us. We did over $20 million worth of revenue. And generally speaking, without applying too many forward-looking statements to it, I can see all of our mines and processing facilities continue to ramp up into the future.
So you guys recently had some management changes of late. What can you tell us?
Well, what I felt was that what we needed was someone running the operations as our chief operating officer that was a little bit more disciplined and a little bit more cost conscious. Carlos Silva is that guy. He started with us in January. Just before the conference, I was in Guanajuato for 4 or 5 days, looking at all of our operations and discussing many things with Carlos and our other managers. And I can tell you everything that I wanted from Carlos, it's being applied, and it is providing more and more discipline to all of our operations.
So are there any things you guys can do to reduce the overall cost, or is this company just really built for higher silver prices?
Well, so a lot of people will look at all-in sustaining cost, right? For the last quarter, ours was about $25. So that's pretty high. The problem with comparing company to company all-in sustaining costs, it's not an IFRS measure, and every company throws different things, including the kitchen sink, into those numbers. We try and be as balanced as possible to give people a true all-in sustaining cost. Very good. So in the last quarter, about $2.50 of that was sustaining capital, which we continue to spend pretty aggressively. The mines that we've purchased were underinvested in by the previous owners for a number of years, and it's fallen to us to spend that money to make these mines safe and productive for the 21st century. Because the market has generally been, and I'm talking about the stock market for junior precious metals things, has been generally non-supportive for financing over the last couple of years. It's been difficult to raise the money and at the appropriate time and get ourselves up and operational. But I think we've done a reasonably good job in that, and you can You can anticipate, I think, continued cost reductions as we move forward. I'll give you a couple of examples of some money that we've spent just this quarter on a brand new ore sorter at our San Ignacio operation. This is a big piece of equipment that we imported from China. That will be commissioned, or we'll start the commissioning process just next week, and we should be in operation there in October. 2 brand new filter presses at our Topia mine. It's an old plant, really not very much new investment in the plant for 40 years. So these are big pieces of equipment that will bring those processing facilities into the 21st century.
So if I am an investor in Guanajuato Silver, or I'm watching the story, what does the remainder of the year look like in terms of what I should be looking out for?
Yeah, I think you'll see incremental improvements in the next reporting quarter, in the third quarter. It's the fourth quarter that I'm really excited about. All of these investments that I've been talking about, a lot of the management changes, the new focus on costs and on discipline in all of our operations. I think what you'll really see is a lot of efficacy of that in the fourth quarter.
All right, well, James, thanks for hopping on here. I always appreciate catching up with you, and I think that you've got a very interesting story for those who are interested in doing their due diligence on silver juniors. So thanks for hopping on here, and I hope you have a great conference.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.